Hello guys, welcome in this video, and in this section of the course we are going to start rendering our scene, and we are going to use an advanced technique in rendering in order to get somehow realistic. Also, this is a basic chapter of rendering. We are not doing perfect log development of a studio, but it's quite reasonable result. So without further ado, in this video we are going to talk about ocean surfaces and some settings in the ocean in order to change its shape and its look in the viewport. Okay, and in the next two videos we are going to render our ocean surface. So in the shelf tool here we have a tab called ocean. We are going to use these two guys, small ocean and large ocean. So in this video we are going to explain the basic parameters on a small ocean. So press Ctrl click in order to create an ocean in the viewport, and this is our ocean surface. Okay, so without further ado, here we have two important nodes. I will not use ocean foam in this course, so delete it. Also delete these two confusing merges. Here we have two nodes, the ocean preview node and the ocean spectrum node. This ocean preview node is a node that evaluates the ocean here in the viewport. We connect to this node a preview grid or a grid here, and this grid here is by default 100 by 100. I'm just going to increase the rows and columns 200 and 200 because the more rows and columns we have, the more resolution we are going to interpret in the viewport. Also, here we have the other connection here, or the other connection connected to the ocean spectrum node, and in this node we can control the different parameters in order to change the shape of our ocean. We are not going to talk about the spectrum export in this video, but we usually export this ocean spectrum in order to use it in the rendering process. Okay, so this ocean preview node doesn't have a lot of settings that we are concerned about in this video. Okay, so let's talk about the ocean spectrum. If you see here, when we change the parameters, it changes the shape of the waves here of this ocean. So first thing here we have this resolution exponent, which is the amount of resolutions that we have in our ocean. So if we just increase it, it increases our resolution. And we have the grid size, which is the size of the waves of the ocean. So if we just increase or decrease this, we have a smaller or larger scale waves. Okay, we can just move the grid center here in order to move our waves. This depth parameter is not very useful to us. We have the gravity here, which controls the gravity forces that affect the ocean waves, and I'm not going to change it because gravity by default is 9.8 meters per second squared. We have the seed parameter, which changes the randomness of our waves depending on the number. So you change this until you see a result that you love. Okay, we have this time scale here, and this is the this controls the fastness or how fast the time will move. So I'm not just concerned with this. If you just increase this or decrease this, you play with the timing in your scene, and we are not going to mess with this. Also, we here have this wind tab, which controls the direction of the wind. Here you can control the direction of the wind. So if you play now, our waves is moving in this direction, but if you just change it like this, it's moving in this direction. Okay, this is just the direction of the wind and also the direction of the waves. We have also the speed of wind, which controls the speed of waves. So as long as you increase the speed of the waves, this increases the height of the waves as well, and this makes the waves more turbulent, like you are seeing here. So usually when you just want to create a very high wave looking for ocean, you just increase the speed and or just decrease it if you want to make your ocean less turbulent and more relaxed looking. You have also the directional bias and directional movement. The directional bias here is just how many waves or the amount of waves that will follow your direction that you have just applied here. Usually the waves that doesn't the waves that doesn't this is the amount of the waves. The waves that doesn't align with the direction of the wind will just be dampened. They will just be dampened. Okay, so if you just decrease this parameter, and you see here the amount of the waves here that are moving with our wind is just decreased, and the waves that doesn't move, the waves that don't move with our wind are just removed. So you have less waves here, and if you just increase this parameter, you will have more waves, because more waves will just go with the direction of our wind. As you can see, they are uniformly moving now with our wind, and also a lot of waves will be preserved as long as just they are going with our wind. Okay, so this is it. When you just decrease it, the number of waves that move with the wind direction that we specify here will be less, and also the waves that are not moving with the wind will be removed or dampened. Okay, we have the directional movement, and this by default you have some waves that move in the opposite direction of the wind. Okay, this is some randomness, but when you just increase this parameter, this is how much your waves will move with the wind. Okay, so you will not be having an opposing movement here, and all of your waves will be aligned with the wind when you just set this to 1. But if you just decrease this, you will see that there are some waves moving in the opposite direction, and you have some randomness. Okay, so if you are looking here, some waves are moving here in this direction, and some are moving in this direction, and not all of them move with the direction of the wind. Also, you have this chop here. When you just increase this parameter, you increase the chopness, or the chop of the top of our waves. So if we just increase the speed to something like this and increase the chop, you'll see that our waves become more sharp. Okay, also if you increase this a lot, you will have some effects here, so you don't need to be very aggressive with this parameter. Or you can just increase the resolution if you just want to make them more chopped like this, or more sharp, or sharper, I mean. Okay, then we have the amplitude tab. We can scale the waves, so you can make them very, very large scaled, or very, very relaxed like this. and we have this minimum wavelength. So this minimum wavelength here specifies the wavelengths below which there will be no waves. Okay, so if you just set this to 1, any wave that will have a length of less than 1 will be removed, and this will leave only the high or the long waves like this. But if you just set this something like 0.5, any wave that has length less than 0.5 will be removed, so it will conserve the waves that have a length larger than 0.5. Okay, so it's by default 0, so it will conserve all of our waves, but you can just increase or decrease this parameter. Wave instancing, if you just put a scatter node here, okay, and connect it to our grid like that, okay, you can just connect this to this input in the spectrum, which is called wave instancing. Now in the spectrum, I would just revert all the parameters to their defaults. I would just decrease the speed to something like 1. Also, okay, what's your problem? Where's my waves? Where are my waves? Okay, something like 3 or 2.5. Okay, so wave instancing just instances or put a wave along each point here. With this radius, you just increase or decrease the radius of instancing, or the radius of the wave along each point. Okay, you can just increase or just rotate the waves along the points. Okay, my viewport is hanging now because I'm just recording, so you can just rotate the waves along the scatter points. You can decrease or increase the amplitude or just the scale of the waves. You can offset them by a number if you want to move them, or change their position. Also, the mask tab, we are not going to play with this in this course. This includes masking or advanced masking techniques, and you can just specify your mask and connect it with the second input, but this is beyond our knowledge for now. In this course, we are not going to use masks in our project here. So yeah, we have covered most of these parameters. Wave instancing gives you the ability to just make random waves, so you can just specify points by painting or any different technique to have many waves in a specific area. So if we just turn off relax iterations here, you will have more random points. So if you see just the ocean preview now, you still have the uniform locking here, but the waves now are more random. Okay, I don't know, everything is freezing now without any reason. My mouse doesn't want to move. Okay, so if we just play here, we'll put more points, or maybe less points, like 500 or maybe just 100 points. You'll see that we have more randomness. There are areas that there are no waves, and only the areas where there are scattered points have waves here. Okay, So this is a basic introduction to the ocean waves and the ocean parameters here in this ocean spectrum. Actually, this course isn't really specialized in oceans. There are a lot of things that you can do with these parameters and these oceans, but this explanation just suits our needs in our project, and there are master classes from side effects that I really recommend for you if you just want to master the art of oceans and you want to create more advanced patterns of waves. So yeah, this is an introduction for ocean, and we have done it. Thank you for watching.